Demari, welcome to my YouTube channel, and today I'm going to be doing the weekly tarot reading for the sign of Aries. Please keep in mind it is a general reading, so it may not apply to each and every one of you. However, you can take a look at this week's reading in regards to your Sun, Moon, Rising and Venus signs. So do take a look at your natal chart, see the corresponding zodiac signs and see which video's title resonates for you most. Now when it comes to the spread, I'll be pulling from the 3 oracle decks I have here, so we'll get messages from the Quantum, the Moonology and the Angelarium. We'll get key messages using the Beautiful Creatures deck and clarifying with the Tarot de la Nuit. So, Aries, let's see what's in store for you for the week of the 26th of April to the 2nd of May 2021. So we've come out of your season now and we're in Taurus. But just want to say quickly thank you to everyone who's been liking, commenting, subscribing and even sharing my videos. It means a lot to have your continued support, so thank you so much for being a part of this community. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do, and don't forget to hit the notifications bell so you're informed of when your next set of readings goes up on the channel. If you'd like a personal reading, you can find the information in the description box below. So Aries, the cards you have from the Quantum Oracle this week is Hidden Motivations and Fragmented Energy. Interesting. So I feel like there is something that you're discovering about yourself, about what it is that you actually want, okay? Something that you want to create for yourself, the long-term picture, the long-term vision, a wish that would be highly desired, okay? But there is still some uncertainty about whether or not you're going to energetically invest into making that vision a reality. So there's something about this that affects you emotionally. So it's like, even though it's something you deeply desire and you're not really communicating to anyone at this time, your energy around that is very chaotic, right? Because part of you wants it, part of you doesn't, part of you fears it, part of you embraces it. Like, you're very all over the place when it comes to this vision, okay? There's some aspect of it, there's something about this vision that terrifies you, possibly because it's something you never envisioned yourself wanting, okay? So this could be different for different people. Maybe you always said, I'll never get married or I'll never have children, and now all of a sudden you want those things, and that terrifies you, right? It brings all sorts of emotions to the surface. Or maybe you're like, oh, I never want to heal a family connection, you know, with a family member, and now you feel like you really want to heal that connection. Or, oh, I want to build this kind of life for myself, but you know, it's not something you ever envisioned yourself doing, so now you're just like, do I really want this? Is this something I'm really going to invest my time, energy and focus into? So you need to get very clear on that. What is it that kind of holds you back from feeling confident about this or fully accepting and embracing this hidden motivation, this vision that you have for your future? And it's also possible as well that you could be dealing with someone who you're starting to get an inkling of wanting something more than you currently have with this person, and that could be terrifying you. So that could be something as well. I don't know, take it however it resonates for you, but there's definitely a fear around whatever this is. So let's see what the Moonology has for you. Okay. So what is the divine guidance for Aries at this time? What can help them temper their emotions? Okay. Yeah, I'm not surprised those came out. Very, very directly as well. No messing around. Okay, so you have communication is key, new moon in Gemini. You could have Gemini in your chart or be dealing with one. Full moon in Taurus. You could be a Taurus cusper. You could have Taurus in your chart. You could be dealing with a Taurus. Anyway, I feel like this is relevant to the season we're now in. It's all about taking practical steps, implementing plans, you know, attracting abundance, okay, which is what you're doing, but you're kind of halting the process of attracting this manifestation into your life because your energy is all over the place, right? So if there is something you feel uncertain about, unsure about, fearful of, a little bit hesitant about, have that discussion with whoever's involved. Even if it's just talking to yourself, needing to sit down with your shadow and find out what about this that scares you. Okay, having that heart-to-heart communication either with whoever's involved or with yourself. And then once you get very clear on that and you face your fears and determine with absolute certainty how you truly feel about it as opposed to what your fear is telling you, then you can start implementing steps. Then you can start creating a plan on how to make this vision a reality. Okay, because you do have to back up this energy with action. It's not enough to just want it and put it out into the universe. You also have to take steps so you're in alignment with it, because right now you're not. Your energy is all over the place. It's fragmented, as it says. So let's see what the angels have for you. Let's see what you need to know, what can help you navigate this energy, right? So you come into a place of equilibrium, balance, okay? Wow, 2 cards. Interestingly, you have one of the angels that came out for Libra, okay? So if you're dealing with a Libra, maybe check out the Libra reading, or if you have Libra in your chart prominently, okay? But you have Shaligliel, angel of snow, interesting. And you have Uriel, okay, angel of flame, Archangel Uriel, wow. So flame, fire energy, your energy, Aries. So I feel like, yeah, this goes back to childhood. So you may be wanting to settle down at this time, but you're fearful of certain cycles being repeated, right? Because you are still having to heal the inner child here, okay? You're still having to look at what are those wounds that you're still carrying, okay? What is it that you truly desire? What is it that propels you forward? What is it that you feel like really burns in your heart, as opposed to what you're fearing and what you're carrying with you that could create some kind of karmic situation as opposed to an ascendant one? So depending how you approach this and how you deal with these energies that are coming up to the surface is going to dictate how this plays out for you this next cycle. Okay, so that's very important to be aware of. So I do recommend taking some time out to really sit with yourself, to look at your fears, okay, and where it stems from, especially if it does involve, you know, like I said, family wounds, okay, so that you do actually address what needs healing. Because I feel like something is being highlighted here, and I feel like you're going through a rebirth, okay, with that Uriel energy. So parts of yourself are being burnt away, and you will rise from the ashes renewed. So this is a part of the healing process that's taking place for you. So I'm just going to give you the signs for these 2 angels in case they come up in your environment. Okay. So the signs for Uriel's energy is a brazier, a stallion, a tongue, okay? A brazier, a stallion, a tongue, okay? So that may be significant for you, especially if you're having certain kind of encounters, if you know what I mean, okay? And then for Shaligliel, a snowflake, a seed, a pine tree, okay? A snowflake, a seed, a pine tree. So any of those things could be significant for you. But yeah, this is talking about listening to what your heart is telling you as opposed to what your shadow is telling you, or, you know, so it's like your heart may be telling you that you are really deeply in love with someone and that you want to start a family with them. But then your shadow aspect is like, no, you don't want to do that. You want to play the field. You want to ignore that and just keep things light and sexual because that's what you know, or that's what's comforting for you, or that's what takes the pressure off, right? It could be something like that. Or it's a case of if you grew up in a dysfunctional family where there was lots of lies, cheating, you saw a lot of fighting, okay, that could be part of what your childhood wounds are. So part of you may be fearful that you'll perpetuate the same cycle in a connection, okay? Take it however it resonates. It's going to be different for different people. But let's go into the tarot messages now. These readings this week have been very profound, going very deep into people's psyche. And that is not my intention to go this deep, but it's what's coming out, because obviously there are people that need this message, okay? If you don't resonate with any of this, that's fine. That's not your message, okay? But someone needs this. So, yeah. Even though it's not necessarily... Oh, sorry, I just dropped the card. Even though it's not necessarily easy to hear, it is necessary to relay this message to whoever needs it, okay? So, yeah. Yeah, it is really highlighting some wounds here, which is what I'm getting a lot in the weeklies this week anyway. A lot of wounds are being highlighted at this time in order for us to free ourselves from it so we can start our new timeline with a clean slate, essentially, okay? And not carrying these things with us every step of the way. So, first card out from the Beautiful Creatures deck. 9 of Swords, okay? Air energy, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. This is about mental strife, okay? Anxiety, stress, okay? Fears, concerns, worries, okay? So it's pretty heavy energy. I feel like, again, mentally, you are overwhelmed by this, okay? Now that these things are coming up to the surface and you're like, oh my gosh, maybe you feel like I'm at this point in a relationship, or I'm in this point in my life where I'm starting to want these things, but how am I going to be able to do that? Like, that was never a part of my plan, right? Maybe that's why you need to go back to the drawing board and create a new plan, because you were never planning to have whatever this is that you now want, okay? It doesn't have to be a family or settling down or anything like that just because there's children there, but whatever this is, this hidden motivation is, you're like, this was never a part of my plan. What do I do? Like, I want this, but I don't want it. Like, what do I do? What do I do? Like, just being all up in your head about it. That's when your energy becomes fragmented, and then that's when things become chaotic in your life. So you need to first temper the mind, okay? The next card out is the Hierophant in reverse. So more Taurus energy. Some of you definitely got Taurus in your chart. If that's so, check out the Taurus reading that will be coming up, okay? Just in case there's some messages that come up in there for you. Or you could be dealing with a Taurus, as I said. But regardless, this is about you didn't want to take the traditional path, right, is what I feel. Or you're not wanting to take the traditional path now. You were a bit rebellious, okay? You were someone who you felt you were someone that would do things differently, you know, that would break out of convention, that would have a very different life. Maybe you didn't want to have a monogamous relationship. Maybe you don't want to have a family or some kind of strong commitment here, and maybe that's something you're slowly starting to realize that you now do. Or maybe it's something that you thought you wanted, but now you realize you don't want. You want something different for yourself, okay? So take it however it resonates. If that's so, and you're in a relationship with someone who does want those things, you need to be very open and honest about that, okay? That's where that communication is key, comes in, okay? Because you need to be able to express the truth to this person, especially if you know that you want different things, or if you're at that point in the relationship where you need to know what it is that this person wants for the long term, okay? Because the last thing you want is to go in too deep and then you are both on completely different pages, because that can be very difficult, okay? So it's better to know early on, or at least as soon as you start to realize that you want something else. It's better to communicate that so that everyone's on the same page, and then, you know, you can decide where to go from here, and the other person can do the same, right? The next card is Strength in reverse. So that's Leo energy, okay? You could be dealing with a Leo or have it in your chart. This is speaking of needing to do the shadow work, okay? Needing to do that. Needing to understand that you are way stronger than you feel, okay? That just because you experienced certain things growing up, or because you saw things in a relationship that was toxic, doesn't mean that has to be your narrative. So maybe it's not even that you don't want something traditional, but you feel like something traditional could never work. But that's not necessarily the case, right? So you need to take a look at that. Take a look at those fears. You know, change your perception on this. Because you are not your parents, you are not your grandparents, you're not your friends, you're not your other relatives, you're not the people you were around growing up, okay? you can take a very different path for yourself. Okay, so you need to have more self-belief, trust that you can be loyal, that you can be dependable, that you can be there, that you can show up, that you can invest, right? Whatever it is. Or if you don't want to go down that path and you want to take a very different approach, then you need to have the strength to admit it firstly to yourself and then to the person you're dealing with, okay? The next card is the Emperor in reverse. So this is your this is your Aries. Yes, this is you, Aries, okay? Your energy is what I wanted to say. But you are in reverse. Because there's a need for acceptance. That's the first thing I'm feeling here. You have not fully accepted what these hidden motivations are. Or it's a case of you're realizing that your person has hidden motivations and you're choosing not to acknowledge it or take action to really get this out in the open, to clarify, to assert your position, because perhaps you know that will cause a rift in the connection. But either way, there needs to be clear discussion and you need to assert your position, okay? You need to take ownership over your desires, your wishes, your wants, your passions, your vision, your dreams, all of it. Because right now you're not doing that. You're just like, oh, you're procrastinating essentially. Oh, I'll look at it later. Oh, I'll deal with it later. Oh, I'm just going to turn a blind eye to it. Oh, it will just go away. No, it won't. You have to address this, okay? The next card is the Lovers in reverse, Gemini energy, okay? Strong Gemini showing up for you, so you could have Gemini in your chart or be dealing with one, or someone who's a Gemini Taurus cusper, possibly Taurus Gemini. But regardless, the Lovers is in reverse, so a decision needs to be made here. Communication is key. You need to express what it is that you want, what decision you've come to, and then take the appropriate action. But a final decision needs to be made here when it comes to possibly a commitment, whether or not to commit to someone, or to define what that commitment would look like for you, okay? And then finally, the last card is the Page of Swords in reverse, okay? Air energy, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. This could be the Gemini, okay, energy. But regardless, yeah, this is again avoidance. This is someone that doesn't want to look at it for what it is, that doesn't want to speak their truth, that doesn't want to acknowledge the reality, okay? So not facing your past, not facing your fears, not facing the reality of the situation you find yourself in. So there's definitely a need to look at it, understand it, accept it, and then communicate, okay? I'm getting that very, very clear. So let's just get some quick clarifications for you that will help you. Wow, okay, yeah, okay, okay. Wow, okay, I'm starting to understand now. I'm starting to understand what's going on with our Aries and why you're just like, fuck. Like, just so up in your head about this whole situation. Wow. Oh my God, Aries, these are powerful cards. Oh gosh, yeah, this is, wow. Okay, this is a complex situation for those of you who I'm picking up on. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm sorry. I don't mean to quack in the background, but yeah. Now I understand why your energy is all over the place, because this is a lot, okay? And I'm going to do my best to try and condense this so that it isn't a massive reading, but I'm glad that I'm clarifying this because there is a lot going on beneath the surface. Okay. And it makes so much sense. Okay. So, clarifying the Nine of Swords. 10 of Cups, okay? Water energy. 5 of Cups. Tower, Scorpio energy. So you could have been dealing with a Scorpio. This is all water energy, essentially. But this is also your energy as well, may I add, Aries, the Tower. Your fears surrounding what you felt you lost in the past is blocking your abundance and emotional fulfillment in the present. Again, this could be because of family situations, family dynamics that had an impact on you, that's still affecting you and blocking you from having this happy ever after with someone. Maybe feeling like you're not deserving of, because you're going to repeat the same patterns, the same mistakes. Maybe feeling like this is not something you can accomplish. This isn't your path. This isn't your narrative. I don't want this, but I do, right? That's possible. But I feel like there is a connection now that could lead to a 10 of Cups, but you're still fixated on what was lost in the past. A reconciliation possibly that didn't take place. So we'll have to carry on to see why that is, why your attention's being drawn to the past. If it's not just purely about what you experienced growing up and the turbulence there, if it's something also involving a past connection, what this is. Clarifying the Hierophant in reverse, you have the 10 of Swords, ouch. The Chariot, Cancer energy. 7 of Swords, oh, so much ouch, okay. So I feel like with this combination, yes, there was a situation in the past that you felt like you didn't want to commit to this situation. That's the reality, okay? You may have been in a situation, a relationship in the past that seemed to be going the distance, okay? But perhaps it's like history repeating itself. It got to this point where it was either going to become very serious or you stopped altogether. And your fears came out. Your fears got the better of you. Or your person's fears got the better of them, that you didn't want to commit. Or perhaps you had this conversation that I don't want a serious commitment. I don't want to settle down. I don't want to have children. Maybe this past person realized they did, and the best thing was to leave. And that caused you a lot of pain, right? Because they felt like they could not have this long-term happiness with you in the way they envisioned it. So they had no choice but to focus on their true will and walk away. And that caused you a lot of pain. Okay? So if you're still carrying this pain and it's affecting your current relationship, you need to communicate that and you need to look at that for healing. Okay? Because there's a reason why you're still carrying it. There's something about this that triggered something about your past, or you're now having to face, because your motivations, your wishes, your dreams are changing. And now you're all over the place. You don't know how to feel about this, what you want. It's like, what is happening, okay? So clarifying the Strength card in reverse, the Moon card, okay? So Pisces, Cancer energy. I did see the Chariot there, so you could be dealing with a Cancer or have Cancer in your chart. 10 of Pentacles, wow, okay, Earth. And Ace of Swords, yeah. Wow, okay, so the truth is coming to the surface. As I said, what you really desire is coming to the surface. You are now realizing that you do want a long-term commitment. You want 10 of Cups, 10 of Cups. You want to settle down with someone, whatever that means to you, whether or not that involves kids, whether or not that means marriage. But you want a stable, long-term commitment. And you're terrified that you will somehow screw it up, or that somehow the other person will screw it up because of what you witnessed growing up as a kid, possibly. Or because as you were growing up, you saw so many relationships in your family or friends or, neighbors or whatever, other friends, parents break down. So it made you very skeptical that this could last. Maybe because other relationships you had broke down. So you're like, how can this even be possible? But the reality is you do want it. So first of all, you need to admit that to yourself and own it. Say, yes, this is my dream. This is my vision. I want material stability. I want the house, the car, the pets. I want a stable environment, a healthy environment. I want a good job. I want my career to go well. I want to have financial abundance, but I also want a lot of emotional fulfillment. I want to have a very happy family life, right? So it's having that very honest communication, first of all, with yourself, and then with whoever you're dealing with. If you are dealing with someone, or if you want to reconcile with someone from the past, okay? Whatever the situation is for you. So clarifying the Emperor in reverse, we have the Knight of Pentacles, that's Virgo energy, 5 of Pentacles, King of Cups, water energy, Pisces, Cancer again. So we have strong water coming up here. But yeah, I feel like this is you. Regardless of your gender, Aries, I feel like You are now looking to heal yourself, okay? Because you know that you can't keep avoiding this. You can't keep turning a blind eye. There is something you're wanting to revisit because you don't feel the same way as you once did about something. Something that you either walked away from, or you felt, or a situation where you felt abandoned in. But there's something about your past you know you need to revisit head on because it's affecting your present. So you need to alchemize it. So you're looking back knowing that you need to course correct, that you need to address some wounds from your past, that you have to address something that you know is going to take a lot of work in healing, but it will put you in this King of Cups energy. You see how his scars are magically healing? That's where you know what will happen. You will finally heal these wounds that you've been carrying, okay? And then will put you into the Emperor in the upright mode. So the Lovers in reverse is clarified by Temperance, so Sagittarius energy. Queen of Pentacles, that's Virgo again, so strong Virgo here. And the Hermit, yeah, lots of Virgo, okay? So you could be dealing with a Sagittarius or a Virgo or someone who has these strong placements. But there is a need for healing, absolutely. So you're wanting to heal a connection here, I feel. You're wanting to heal yourself. And you're doing the inner work now. Because you know that there's a situation that's just kind of hanging over your head, and it all does depend on where you go from here, what path you choose, how you choose to deal with it. So you're going within to heal yourself, to finally take a look at those wounds, take a look at your childhood wounds, take a look at, you know, how you can get into this Queen of Pentacles mode, right? Where you know that you are just as able to give as you are receive, or you're just as able to receive as you are giving, depending on how it is for you. But it's something that's going to change things for the better. This is like unlocking a significant milestone in your life when it comes to your personal growth. Because you feel like perhaps there's someone in your life, possibly a Queen of Pentacles energy, that is deserving of the best of you. And right now they're not seeing it because of all your fears and confusion and being emotionally overwhelmed. So there could be someone in your life that's kind of triggering this healing process. So either you're at distance from them and you're looking to reconnect, or you're currently connected with them, and what's coming up in the connection is forcing you to take a look at these things. Okay, so take it how it resonates for you. And then finally, with the Page of Swords in reverse, you have the Nine of Cups, water energy, Hanged Man, Pisces coming in strong in your reading, and the Four of Wands. You know that as much as you're trying not to look at it to just avoid the, you know, you're trying to avoid the truth because you're focused on what you think is going to make you feel good, i.e. the more pleasurable things in life. I don't need love, I just need pleasure, okay, maybe. Or just focus on the things that you feel brings a lot of luck into your life, a lot of happiness, fulfillment. What you need to know is that the thing that you're avoiding is the very thing that will bring you true fulfillment, not just fleeting contentment, okay? Real fulfillment. It is a wish come true, okay? The thing that you're avoiding. So now you have no choice but to take a step back and to really look at this objectively, clearly, using your higher wisdom, listening to your higher self, okay? Opening your third eye, you know, lifting that veil from your eyes, and letting your crown chakra be lit up by the divine so you can see things with crystal clear clarity. You know, helping you be lit up so you can come back into this energy of hope, of balance, of being empowered, of trusting, of knowing that you are deserving of whatever it is that you wish for, and that you can be in a connection that's loving, that is very mutual, and that you both have the same wishes. You both are looking for the same thing in the long term as well as the present. So there's a need for acceptance, there is a need for healing, processing, clear communication, and then action. So there's a lot going on here, Aries, so I hope that made sense. Do let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you found it useful, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do, and don't forget to hit the notifications bell. And honestly, like, you don't need to lie to yourself or this person at this point, okay? So sending you lots of love, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.